This is the police officer memorial in Covington at the foot of the Roebling Bridge. In 2011, when this marker filled up with names, a fundraiser was held to buy 2 new fresh markers for future names. Well, somehow in the middle of the night, someone was able to push over one of these markers, and this is what's left. There's been so much talk about the UC officer's body camera, but another key piece of evidence from Sunday's shooting could come from this home. Look up in the corner of that porch. That's a surveillance camera off of Rice Street. What did it see Sunday evening? Well, we don't know because police won't tell us. The estimates are around $1.5 million. Tracy Hunter has been embroiled in controversy since her name first appeared on the ballot back in November of 2010. Tonight, 1 week after her criminal trial ended, we're getting an idea of just how much her legal problems have cost you, the taxpayer. Carol, it happened just after 8 o'clock on Ravine Street, known in this neighborhood as The Hill. As you said, the little girl was walking to school. I just talked with her mother, who described in scary detail these moments, how close her daughter was to being kidnapped this morning. Well, this death investigation became a very controversial case back in December when the Brown County coroner ruled Zachary Goldson's death homicide. If Goldson didn't kill himself in his cell, then obviously someone in the jail did. Tonight we have new details that the coroner says is evidence this was not suicide, this was homicide. All right, back here live at Pyatt Park, I want to show you what's going on here because they are blocking the intersection here. There are no police officers here. They don't have the intersection shut down, but effectively that's what they're doing here. This is the intersection of 8th Street East and Garfield Place. We knew their plan was to march, at least march to City Hall around 6 o'clock, so we were expecting some kind of movement, but we weren't expecting this. We're predictably going to see some arrests here at this point because the light is green. I don't know if you can see this right in front of us, but the light is green, traffic is blocked, and none of these people can pass through. So this is going to be very interesting to see how police respond in the next couple of minutes. And right now, I can see the officers, they're behind our camera right now, but they are starting to make their way over here. So they're going to have to clean this up before something gets out of hand. It's not unusual for a national figure to receive death threats, but what is so scary about this case is how close investigators say their suspect was to his target.
Michael Hoyt was a bartender at the Wetherington Country Club for 5.5 years. In that time, Hoyt had several interactions with the Speaker of the House. He told investigators he often poured drinks for Boehner and could have already put something in his drink, but he did not. No one checks the drinks he poured for Boehner, and it would have been very easy to slip something into his drink. According to the criminal complaint, Hoyt blamed the Speaker for the Ebola virus. He fantasized about confronting Boehner in the middle of a packed Paul Brown Stadium. Hoyt was fired from the country club in October. According to the complaint, around a week later, he began hearing the devil's voice from the speakers of his car radio. The voices were telling him that John Boehner was evil. Records show he even exchanged emails with Boehner's wife, Debbie. He ended one threatening email, "Sincerely, Mike. Mike, your former bartender." On October 29th, Hoyt called 911 and blamed Boehner for getting him fired. The documents show he was upset he never got the chance to poison Boehner's drink. Deer Park officers placed him under arrest and removed a loaded .380 Beretta from his home.
Pretty scary stuff. Hoyt was hospitalized and placed under psychiatric evaluation. He was actually indicted by a federal grand jury last week. Both the FBI and U.S. Capitol Police believe that he still poses a threat to John Boehner. Now, it's not unusual for Boehner to get threats from all over the country, and more people get arrested than you might think for that. But again, he was working alongside Speaker Boehner for a long time.
He really did have access. Yeah. All right. Really interesting. Thanks, Jason.
For 5 years, Michael Orbisi said he did everything he could: phone calls, emails, meetings with county engineers and state lawmakers. Now today, after 5 years of persistence, he can finally say he made a difference.
Okay, so my son was right here when I got hit him and threw him up against that pole right there.
For Michael Orbisi, Rybolt Road and Harrison Avenue is sacred ground.
I could choose to, go a different way, but this is where she was, and so I come through every day.
5 years ago, Orbisi's son and daughter were hit trying to make a left turn off Harrison Avenue. 22-year-old Melissa Orbisi was killed. Michael never stopped trying to make the intersection safer. Today, because of Orbisi's hard work, there are dedicated turning arrows for drivers making left turns off of Harrison. There's also a sign warning drivers of the change.
Would the arrows have saved your daughter's life?
Absolutely.
There's also a new countdown clock for pedestrians crossing the street. Small changes, Orbishi says, will make a huge difference.
I promised her that I would bring change about, only because I owe it to her. Her life was not in vain.
How impressed are you by him and his persistence to make a difference here?
He's amazing. He's my angel here on earth.
Julie Gibson's son, Thomas, was killed here in 2014. Thomas's accident was almost identical to Melissa's. He was also broadsided trying to make a left turn.
If it would have been different back then, would he still be here? Changes, it's always what if.
The pain never goes away. You essentially learn how to live with the pain.
And Melissa's legacy continues to impact her father's life in many other ways beyond this intersection. About a year and a half ago, he says he decided to become a driving instructor for AAA. We're live tonight in Green Township. Jason Law, 9 on your side. Tanya and Carol, there were dozens of people in this area Monday afternoon to witness Cincinnati's latest homicide. The reality is that very few of them would talk to detectives. Now, whether or not you understand the no-snitch mentality in the community, most people will agree police cannot stop the violence on their own.
Did almost have my life in jail, and I understand it's a snitch mentality.
Al Hargrove is a 58-year-old ex-con from Evanston. He says he knows all about the culture of not snitching.
What they have out here nowadays is called a dry snitch, where you can call and give information for money. In jail, a dry snitch was a person that'll tell on you in your face and can go behind your back and tell on you.
Not talking to police is a way of life in many neighborhoods. Hargrove says it comes from both a fear of retribution and a fear of the men and women in blue.
People don't trust the police, and police don't trust the people that they're dealing with.
For whatever reason, they believe that they cannot share that information.
Why not?
Because they don't trust.
Dorothy Smoot works in community outreach with the Urban League.
How do police combat that?
Yes.
I believe that we've gotten away from something that we did for a really long time, and that's that the community and the police work together, that they develop trusting relationships in the community. So if people aren't talking, then we need to think about how police can develop a more trusting relationship.
Hargrove believes officers need to go back to patrolling the neighborhoods they grew up in.
Learn how to work the beat and learn the people in their neighborhood. That's the only way you're going to solve the problem that you got every now. Kids killing kids.
Now, it's one thing to talk to police out in the open like this. It's another to pick up the phone and call anonymously. Often after crime stories, we put up a number for Crime Stoppers. We're going to do that again tonight. It's on your screen, 352-3040. We're live tonight in Bond Hill. Jason Law, 9 on your side.